The same usual challenges, very athletic. They've got some terrific attacking personalities, and I think what's been impressive about Texas so far this year and in the past 2 years is just really hard to score on. They've always got good goalkeeping and well-organized defenders, and even when they play three in the back there, they form a nice wall in front of their goal, and they're confident, blocking shots and crosses and defending service. So this is a more well-balanced team than we've seen from Texas in quite a few years.
Is there anything you'll find out about your team that you maybe don't know now, kind of after the Texas game, or have you kind of figured out kind of where your team's at?
I think we have a good idea who we are, for sure, but every team's trying to polish that, right? Everyone's trying to be a better version of what they set out, how they planned it, how they recruited for that team, that year, that system, that season. So I think we have a good idea who we are, but we're always striving to polish that up and be a better version of that.
You've talked about it before, but can you kind of talk about the health and depth of your team and how much that can help you this season?
Yeah, I mean, now we're into Friday, Sundays, so we're 7 o'clock Fridays and 1 o'clock Sundays. So now your depth is at its most important because it's just physically impossible to play 11 players or 12 or 13 players for that matter Friday night for 90 plus overtime and possibly Sunday for 90 plus overtime. So the depth just becomes huge now that we're in conference.
With how many players have been able to find the net this year, what does that bring to your team, having that much balance, scoring balance?
Yeah, I think if Allie didn't have 5 and Katie didn't have 4, it would worry me that we're just spread out so thin that there's no real dominant scorers. But we've got 2 that have, almost 10 goals between them, and they're both freshmen, and then a bunch of other players that have gotten singles and doubles. Savannah Jones has 2, for example, coming off the bench. So that's exciting. As long as you've got 1 or 2 that are the consistent ones, then spreading out the rest of the goals is great news for us.
I guess in terms of goalies, what have you kind of seen from them, and do you kind of like what's kind of happened where you kind of keep 1 in the first, 1 in the second so far?
The team's comfortable with it. They're similar in enough ways. Their communication is the same. Their vocabulary is the same. They organize us in similar ways. They both have strengths and weaknesses over each other, but like I've said, until somebody makes it impossible to play them 90 minutes, we're going to keep splitting them, and it's been working so far.
I think going to Texas and then coming back for TCU, is that going to be a challenge or no?
Yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You got to travel for a home game, right? Like this is supposed to be a home game, and we got to travel for it. So it's a complete disadvantage when that happens. But it's the scheduling computer that has a mind of its own, and it spits things out as it sees fit. I think this is our 3rd out of 4 years at Texas and 3 out of 4 years at West Virginia. So go figure that out. But here we go, back to Austin, and we'll lace them up and get ready.
Texas, they're doing really good this year. They're a different team than last year, supposedly. So. I don't think we're thinking too much about it. I think we're just going to go in there and play our game and do what we know how to do. We know they're physical and they like to play, so I think we're well prepared, and I think we're going to do really good against them.
Based off the weekend, what do you how is the team kind of practice following the weekend, especially following the law, not the laws, but the tie?
Really good. We got after it on Tuesday, and we kept our heads up. We took the positive from the tie, and we know we played well. It just didn't end up how we wanted it to. So we kept the week positive and just ready for this big weekend.
Scoring balance on the team, what does that add? Kind of what mentality does that give when you have 9 people who can all put the ball in the back of the net or have put the ball in the back of the net so far this year?
I think it's awesome that we've had so many different players that are coming, and they're from all over the field. It's not just our forward players, and it's younger players and older players. So I think it's awesome that everyone's getting their chance, and we know that we don't have to just rely on a few people. We all have the ability to put it in, and we can rely on each other.
I guess for the goalies, what's it been like for y'all just to kind of see one kind of take ownership of the first half and one for the second half, and how has that worked out for y'all?
Well, we trust both of them a lot, so nothing changes when the different halves are, but it's good. It keeps them on their toes. They compete. It keeps us on our toes. Different people, they have different styles of talking to us, and so I think it really works out well with the balance of the 2 of them.
In a weird way, does it almost kind of keep them fresher because they're not playing a full 90 minutes, or I guess is that good, bad?
Yeah, I think definitely since they're only playing like their halves, they're more focused and sharp and ready for their time in the goal, and they're willing to help each other and learn from each other as they watch through the game.
Have you kind of seen the top kind of develop for y'all? I know Allie and obviously Katie have been pretty well, but now you're adding Jay, and then of course everyone else. Have you kind of seen that develop with the addition of Jay now?
I mean, I think our forwards are only getting better, and they're learning from each other every day. Jade has a little more experience, so I think it's good for Allie and Kirsten to see her play and getting back into it. And I mean, they're all pushing each other. They're all competing, so I think only good can come from it.
y'all have a good idea of where y'all are at as a team right now at this point in the season, or do you guys constantly kind of figure new things out every weekend?
I think every weekend we're getting better and better and figuring out ourselves out, but I don't think we're as good as we will be. I think we have a lot of things that we know we can do and we can progress to, but I think we're doing awesome so far and progressing as the season goes on, and I think our best soccer is to come.
Definitely it's going to be a good game. You know, it's always a big game and definitely a battle with Texas. You know, we know they have a long punt. We know that they're dangerous on set pieces, but really, you know, we're just kind of sticking to our game and polishing up what we need to focus on. You know, defense is doing great, but there's some areas that we need to fix. Our offense is doing awesome, but just, you know, really just cleaning up this week.
In terms of what y'all have to fix, I guess, what did you learn from the tie, and what have y'all worked on through practice?
I mean, again, we're just kind of sticking to what we know that we have to do. We need to be aware of ceiling players, you know, when to build instead of, and when to penetrate instead of build. So, yeah.
I guess kind of from your perspective, how have you kind of seen the two goalies work out? I know one's kind of established herself as a first and the other the second half.
Yeah, I mean, the goalies have been great. They're definitely on their game right now. You know, they both bring such different personalities and I don't know, atmospheres to when we play. So it's really nice to play with both of them. I don't know, yeah, I like playing with both of them.
Is there a describable difference you can tell kind of the younger players about that Big 12 like home game versus the atmosphere of a Big 12 road game?
Oh man, sorry, ask that question one more time.
Yeah, is there a describable difference you can tell like the younger players about kind of the difference between a Big 12 home game and kind of the first Big 12 road experience that they'll have?
Yeah, I mean, the younger players have really done a great job of not letting the freshman tendencies come and like getting so caught up in the crowd and like the big atmosphere. And I feel like our upperclassmen has done a good job of sticking to our role and not letting the other factors factor into that. And so really I've been really proud of, you know, the underclassmen and sticking to what we need to do and not letting anything affect that.